Hey all, James here with Master Trainer, and I just saw Detective Pikachu, the movie, Pokémon Detective Pikachu, with my buddy Sean, who's the cameraman. Feel free to wave. Yeah, hi there. So, this is the spoiler-free Detective Pikachu review. We're just talking about the movie. I'm not going to mention any specific scenes. Technically, it doesn't launch till May 10th, and right now it's May 9th. For some reason, it's become a trend to start showing some movies early. This wasn't even like a midnight showing. We just saw this at like 4 p.m. But it was really good. And right off the bat, if you just want to know if Detective Pikachu is worth your time and if it's worth watching, the answer is yes. This movie delivers, and I say this as someone who doesn't allow himself to get hyped about movies. You know, I've been burnt by too many video game movies. I don't feed into hype, but I let myself get hyped up for Detective Pikachu. And I was kind of worried, like, oh, what if it ends up being another Super Mario Brothers movie or whatnot? But it wasn't. It was incredibly well done. The story beats were a bit predictable. It's a very traditional, you know, hero's journey type thing. But predictability doesn't matter if the journey itself is fun. And this was a fun journey. An hour and 42 minutes long. It's no endgame or whatnot. You know, it's very easy to sit through. No scenes linger too long, but none really leave you wishing they would go on longer or whatnot. The characters are incredibly well developed, and what's great about going to see this with Sean is that while Sean and I are both film buffs, I'm a hardcore gamer and a hardcore Pokemon fan, but he hasn't really experienced much of the series since late 90s or early 2000s when we were little kids. And what was great is that even though I could very easily not only follow the story, but you know, pick out the individual Pokemon in the background of each scene, or no, oh, look at that, that's a black and white reference on his table right there. Oh, look at that, that poster is a Diamond and Pearl reference or whatever. He could follow it very easily as well because it sets itself up very well. It's something that I think die-hard Pokemon fans can enjoy, as can just your average everyday moviegoer. It's a really good movie, and what's nice as well is that even though it's also very obviously a kid-friendly film, you know, there's nothing real suggestive or whatnot. You know, this isn't Deadpool, even though Ryan Reynolds is in it. It definitely knows that a lot of people watching have been longtime fans of the series since they were kids. Particularly people in my age who are in their 20s now. I mean, the main character, I guess minor spoiler alert, is in his early 20s, so it gets that, and it is a little darker than what you'd expect for Pokemon. It deals a lot with family issues and whatnot, but it also knows it's a Pokemon movie, and knows there are also kids watching, and it walks this very fine line that I feel like it tries to include a bit of everything, but then also simultaneously do its own thing, and that own thing is its own focus. Even though there are references to the games and the anime and whatnot, it's very much in kind of a self-contained bubble in the Pokemon world, and that's very neat. And yeah, something else I really enjoyed is a lot of Pokemon stuff with like Let's Go and whatnot kind of panders towards being Gen 1, you know, Pokemon Red and Blue focused and whatnot. And I was very happy to see this game, or this game-based movie, include so many references and Pokemon from throughout the entire series. Really, everything from your fan favorites from back in the day up to stuff from Sun and Moon and whatnot. And I feel like that was just really nice because it showed stuff, for example, like Pokemon like Torterra or Morlo or whatnot. Pokemon that I think, you know, aren't really spoilers if I mention them, because if you've seen my videos into Detective Pikachu Pokemon cards unboxings, which you definitely should, all of those had cards featured on them, and I hope they do more because some of the designs like Torterra and whatnot were just amazing. That's another thing. The Pokemon designs themselves are really, really well done. Like they look realistic, but not creepily so. Like they don't really fall into like that creepy, uncanny valley. They look really good. Like Pikachu, for example, just looks so fluffy and cuddly and whatnot. But also, he's still very much so an electric rat who seems like a living thing in the film. It's very cool. It's very well done. You know, best movie ever made? No. Best video game movie ever made? As far, and you know, unless the Sonic movie's better, which I highly, highly doubt it will be. I mean, even if they used Gangster Paradise for its trailer. No, this is easily the best video game movie I've ever seen, and it's honestly just a really good movie in general. Like, even if you don't usually go to the theater and whatnot, this might be a reason to go see it. It's really fun, especially if you're like me and a nostalgic, cringy 90s kid. Get your cringy, nostalgic 90s kids friends together and go see Detective Pikachu in theaters. And for those wondering, we went and saw this at the Cineplex Odeon in Victoria, BC. They were doing a 4 p.m. showing the day before release, which, okay. But anyways, before I ramble on more, if you want some more specifics, this is the spoiler-free review, and I'm doing a spoiler-included review shortly after this. I'll be a bit longer and more in-depth. So with that, go check that out if you want to hear more. But if you haven't seen the movie yet, please don't watch that. Go see the movie. There's a seaplane coming in. So thank you very much for watching. Stay classy, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.